Hey guys, welcome to the Headless Horrors post-show recap. I'm Frank, and if you have listened to the very first podcast, episode number 1, called The First Kill of the Headless Horrors podcast, I informed you in that show that I will be posting a video the following day on the official Beheaded YouTube page, in which I will show you the physical copies of the movies which I would have spoken about on the podcast. Now, if you're not familiar with the podcast, obviously it's a brand new show. So what you need to do to listen to this show is go on the Podbean website, headlesshorrors.podbean.com. And that is where you can listen to the show. There's a new podcast, new episode every 2 weeks on Monday. I just published the very first podcast yesterday. And you can also follow me on the Facebook page, Frank's Headless Horrors, and just keep up to date there with all the information regarding this podcast, which is a podcast about horror movies, especially horror movies from the 80s. Now, I have reviewed, or spoke about rather than reviewed, 2 movies yesterday, which were Antropophagus and Evilspeak, and I've got the physical copies of those movies right here next to me. Before getting into that, I'd like to say thanks to you guys who listened to the show and left some feedback from the show. Obviously, this is something I do purely out of love and passion for this hobby I have, which is basically horror movies from the 80s. It's something new, and it is also the first podcast I'm doing in English, because the previous shows I've done on radios and podcasts were in Maltese. Yeah, I speak Maltese. That's what the accent is, if you're asking yourself. That's where the accent is from. So yeah, thanks everybody. I hope you will be joining me for further shows. The next show is actually December 26th on Monday, and the next video will be, once again, on the Beheaded official YouTube page on December 27th, which would be the following day. If you haven't subscribed to the Beheaded YouTube page, you can obviously click the red subscribe button, which is somewhere here. I'm not sure where. And let me just make a quick plug. Obviously, I'm the singer of the band, and I'm wearing the new official Beheaded Beast Incarnate shirt. Now, these shirts are on pre-sale alongside hoodies, long sleeves, the CD itself, and also an LP. I'll pop a link down here, and you can check the Beheaded web store for all the Beheaded goodies you might want to grab. So let's have a look at the physical copies. By the way, when it comes to the physical copies and collecting, there's different types of collectors out there. I like collecting a bit of everything. My favorite type of format would be VHS, but I also like DVDs. I also like Blu-ray. So the movies I speak about in the show, which I feature in the show, I will always own a physical copy of, and I will bring them on these videos, show you the artwork, which is quite an important thing and quite a big selling point, especially back in the day for these movies. So the first movie I spoke about was actually Antropophagus, and I have this on Blu-ray. There's a bit of a reflection from the window coming on the sleeve of the Blu-ray disc. As you can see, this is part of the Italian collection, released by 88 Films. You can see that over there. There's the Italian flag at the bottom. It's a movie by Joe D'Amato, and there's 27 movies in this collection. This is movie number 7. I own a couple more of these. It's a very nice collection, some very cool movies. I own some of the other movies on VHS and also DVD, but I'd like to have this entire collection, and hopefully one day I will be the proud owner of the entire Italian collection by 88 films. That's the back. Some images from the movie in the back, and it's also a reversible sleeve. So if you take the sleeve out, it can be reversed, and that's another cover for this movie. It's Antropophagus the Beast. And as I mentioned in the during the podcast, this movie has been released under different titles, most notoriously, obviously, under Antropophagus and Antropophagus the Beast, and also the Grim Reaper. So it's quite a cool little Blu-ray to have. And this is actually available. Once you pop it in, you can watch the movie either in English or in Italian with English subtitles. So that's Antropophagus, the very first movie that made it on the Headless Horrors podcast. The next one, which I spoke about, is Evilspeak. This little baby right here, this is a big box VHS. It's a pre-certified VHS. That means that it doesn't have the age, it doesn't have the certification. So this is a copy I'm quite happy with, but I also have the DVD copy. And actually, I owned first the VHS, but I picked up this DVD for quite cheap, so I thought, you know what, why not? It also has a bonus disc, so I thought this is a nice addition to the collection. Very nice artwork, very 80s, this artwork. I absolutely love it. This guy doesn't exactly look like Cooper Smith, but it's a pretty cool artwork, man. You can see over here the font being used is a very old school computer green on black type of font. That's the back. You can see the scene over here, the demon flesh-eating pigs. Another scene from the movie. Over here it says, data incomplete, human blood required, thus spake the computer. So that's the copy of Evilspeak. See there, licensed by Fintown. That's the VHS format, and this is the double disc presentation of Evilspeak on DVD. I'm not too keen on the actual presentation, not too keen on the cover. I think it is a bit bland. It's cool that they still use the font, the green on black font, but as far as the presentation goes, I feel it's a bit bland. It does on the inside have the original cover which we saw on VHS. It's a 2-disc movie with some bonus features, as I said. It's pretty cool to have, especially if you pick it up for a price which is not so expensive. Once again, data incomplete, human blood required. Right, so it's a simple video, short video. I'm not getting into a lot of technical stuff and all that editing and whatnot. So this is what these videos will be all about. Once again, let me remind you, the Headless Horrors podcast, available on headlesshorrors.podbean.com. You can also download the app either on Android or on Apple devices to listen to the show there. What else? The Facebook page. Hopefully I'll be with you. Well, I will definitely be with you in 2 weeks' time on Monday the 26th for episode number 2, and I do hope you join me once again. Thanks for viewing, thanks for listening, and I'll see you next time. Cheers, guys.